This way. I just ate, so you probably tell me a little tummy right now. So the two manga, or not two manga, but the two things that have really made impact on my manga are Chainsaw Man and Seinfeld. And of course there's other ones, but those are like the big ones that led to other ones. So the first one with Chainsaw Man. So the thing that really stuck out to me is the way the panels are done. So whenever you're reading the manga, a lot of the panels, or some of the panels, they have it to where it's like, it's as if you're watching a movie, and after a second you pause it, and then after another second you pause it again. So it's like very subtle movements, or it'll be a change in the expression of the face. And I thought it was pretty cool because I've seen it a couple times with Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Z, because with a lot of the fight scenes, I think it was Toriyama or his assistant, the name is like really close to the creator of Dragon Ball's name. I forgot his name. Toyotaru, I'm not sure. But just the way they do the fight scenes, it's very easy to follow. Because if you watch, or if you read a fight scene from Jujutsu Kaisen or Chainsaw Man, most cases, or even Tokyo Ghoul, most cases you don't know what's happening. Because, you know, it's either really dramatic, like the, not really dramatic, the pose, but it's like the lines are really thick, and out of nowhere it'll go from like a punch to now they're right behind them and they just got hit in the back of the head. Oh, buddy. And with Dragon Ball, whenever I say Dragon Ball, I mean Z and Super. It's pretty much they're about to punch you. The next panel is the next panel is they punch them in the face. The next is they react, and then the next is they fly to like a rocky mountain or whatever. And then the next panel, it's like the same scene, but it's at a different angle. So if somebody gets punched in the face, it'll be a panel of them like flying to the wall, or like, let's say they're flying straight into a brick wall, and then the next panel will be that person who threw that punch looking at that person fly. So with Chainsaw Man, I think it would have been awesome if he would have done that with the fight scenes, but I don't think it's really, it's different than Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball is more of a fight. I think it's called like Battle Shonen, and with Chainsaw Man, it's like more invested in the characters, so I guess character driven. And of course there's some pretty cool fight scenes and abilities that people have. God dang, it's hot. Alright, let me just turn the AC on. So at Chainsaw Man, it was pretty cool because like with the way in like some panels where there's like this gradual movement as if it's like keyframes. And that was pretty cool. And I'm not really the kind of guy who, whenever I see something, I'm able to understand it completely. So I came across some other videos talking about Fujimoto and how he does his paneling, and other people on YouTube and Reddit, they did a pretty good job explaining on how he does his paneling. And of of course, that led me to learn about other manga artists and how they do their paneling. But that was like the starting point for me, and I'm really glad, because like I'm not, like I said, I really don't pick up things easily. If any, like I could watch the same movie over and over again, and I'll like miss the key points. I'll just be the only thing I'll remember is, oh yeah, he shot that guy in the back of the head, or it's something that if you at least watched the movie you would pick up. But the more like the more deeper stuff where you have to like actually like consume it and think about it, it just goes like over my head. So that helped a lot. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else before I jump to Seinfeld. I guess just to share a little bit more about how Fujimoto's paneling helped transition to other manga. So of course for Dragon Ball Super, I started realizing more that, or just Dragon Ball, that the way he does the fight scenes, I guess because I never really read manga, I really didn't understand what was good. What was like a good flow for fight scenes. And I think I started reading the Dragon Ball manga after, I'm trying to think. So when I started collecting manga, I picked up one volume of Dragon Ball. I think it was like volume 9. And then after that, I think it was 6 months, I really didn't read that much. So I was like, the anatomy's good, and I really took nothing from it. And then I started picking up Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man. And whenever I would read the fight scenes, I was like, what just happened? So I would read, I mean, I never really read fast, but I was like, let me read even more slower and see if maybe I'm just reading too fast. And even when I slow down, there's some moments where I'm just like, I don't know what's happening, because especially too with like Tokyo Ghoul, I'll just get lost completely. Like the panels, like the art is amazing, but following the fight from A to B, from anger to you got your ass whooped, I didn't know what was happening. Like and then whenever I would see the exact fight in the anime, I was like, oh, so that's what he was trying to do. So I think after investing a lot of time into like Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man, and just the art style, the paneling with Chainsaw Man, then I started to go back to Dragon Ball, and I was like, holy crap, like these fights are really easy to follow. So with Chainsaw Man, it led to Dragon Ball, just realizing that the fight scenes have a really good flow, and that's something that I definitely want to do in my manga, to where you can follow from point A to point B, and you understand like when somebody gets punched, whenever somebody is on top of a building, how they end up there, instead of just having crazy fight scenes and then somebody's on top of the building, have it to where you see like what led, like the punch, when they were in the air, whenever they did a backflip and then landed on there. Trying to think what other. Try not to burp. I'm pretty sure that's gonna gross some people out. God, dude, this is narrow. Really narrow. Yeah, I'm a little branded right now because I just ate. I'm happy. I'm really happy. Okay, so the second thing that really was a big influence from manga is Seinfeld. And I'll kind of keep it short because I'm pretty sure most people, they just clicked on the video to hear about Chainsaw Man. So with Seinfeld, if you see an episode or two, you realize that it's pretty much, you don't know what's happening. There's no main character because there's 4 characters. It's Jerry, Seinfeld, Kramer. What's the girl's name? Elaine, and then George Costanza. He's my favorite character. And what I like about it is that whenever there's something like there's one or more of those characters are in like a situation, excuse me, you'll see them, another small problem will arise. So for example, and that's a big dog. So for example, and I'm just making this up. This isn't from the show, because I'm pretty sure if I thought too much, I'd hit a mailbox. But let's say that somebody just died, and it's Jerry and George. Let's say that Jerry just got a phone call, and I'm just making this up. Obviously, the show is way better. Let's say that Jerry and George are at his apartment. They're watching TV, and Jerry gets a phone call. You know, he gets his hello out of nowhere. His demeanor gets kind of serious. He's like, "Oh, for real?" Like, and so let's say he just lost his uncle, and they're pretty close. So, and then George, he's looking at Jerry. He's like, "Dang, something must have happened." And then Jerry's on the phone, and then after like a couple seconds, he's like, okay. He's like, okay, well, I'll see you at, or I help you set up the funeral arrangements. And then out of nowhere, let me see. And let's say, so, you know, just remember everything I just said. So let's say beforehand, George and Jerry were planning on going to the movies afterwards. So beforehand, that was a plan, right? Let's watch a little bit of TV or whatever, and then afterwards we'll go to the movies. So then, after the phone call, George looks at Jerry. He's like, that seemed like you got some pretty serious news. And then he would say something like, so are you ready to catch that movie? He was like, no. He was like, my mother just told me that Uncle Leo just died. Leo is the actual character. I don't think that's his uncle, and they have a different relationship. But, you know, let's just say that's the name, Uncle Leo. He's a funny guy too. And then George's like, I'm sorry to hear that. He was like, this is where it gets like really funny. And then George would be like, I'm really sorry to hear that. So what day is it gonna be? And then Jerry's like, I'm helping with the arrangements. We're gonna try to have it set to next Friday. And then George was like, okay. He was like, so I paid $14.25 for the tickets. If you don't want to go, I can take somebody else. And that's where it gets like kind of fucked up. Cause in there's situations like that too, where it's like there's a serious moment and there's like this pettiness, or like something small becomes more important than something big. So like, you know, like I was saying, like if Jerry's uncle just died, George, he would actually care a little bit, and he would say he's sorry, and like he actually cares. And out of nowhere, he would kind of, because he is cheap, he would say hey, like I already spent like $14.25 on the tickets. He's like, if you don't want to go, I'll take somebody else. Hold up. They just call like right beside me. I'm like, dude, bro. Boom, boom! I guess I still haven't gotten the hang of like talking in the car. There's a car just like right there. I don't know. I guess once I get into the habit, I won't care. But right now, I do care. So like I was saying, George, instead of just being like, hey, like, you don't need to sit here and talk about it, he'll be more concerned about his tickets that, you know, he spent $14.25 on. And he'll be like, hey, Jerry, like, you know, if you don't want to go, I can just go with Elaine or Kramer. And at that moment, Jerry would be like, for real? He's like, my uncle just died, and you still want to go to the movies? He was like, Jerry, the tickets are non-refundable. And like the thing is, like, they all have their moments where they do that. Like Jerry, he has moments where he's petty. Elaine, Kramer. So with my manga, I wanted to have it to where there's this like slice of life feel connected with this battle shonen kind of thing, to where there's like it is character driven, and there's a lot of moments where like you get to learn more about the characters, and like you just see the stuff that on the outside it might be stupid to somebody, because like maybe it's like a little thing they have or whatever, but to them it means a lot. So I kind of just wanted to do it to where it's like a slice of life meets a battle shonen, put it into two, and those two have made a big influence. Chainsaw Man, Seinfeld. That's about it. Do I have anything else to say? That's about it for now. So I just got done, and I got some Chick-fil-A sandwich, and I got a milkshake. So I went like, it's like 9:47, and they closed at 10, and I didn't get like the whipped cream and cherry, but I mean I really don't care, because I pretty much went like 10 minutes before they closed, and I think it's pretty much when they're cleaning up, so they probably said, you don't need whipped cream. I don't care. So I'm gonna eat this quick, and then I'm gonna head home. And I don't want to do a video where I like eat it in front of the camera, because I hate it when people smack. I mean, I don't smack, but I don't know. It's not my thing. Holy poop. So the plan for once I get home is to work on drawing the faces at different angles. And last night I was starting to work on it, and I'm trying to get, so have you seen the recent live that I did? It was where I was drawing the body from different angles, and I would just draw from, I'll start from a square, and then I would just go from there and just try to make a dynamic pose. And whenever I was drawing them, I wasn't overthinking. So if I was drawing a box, I would just draw 4 lines instead of drawing a 1 line, keep going at it, the other one, and then trying to make a perfect box. So it's kind of just allowing myself to just make crappy boxes. I mean, of course, it needs to look like a box. It needs to have like some intention with it. Excuse me. But the main thing is I don't get the gesture of it. So I've been working on getting, when it comes to like the front of the face, 3/4 of the face, and then the side profile, I'm trying to, I had like the same approach where I would do sketch of the face. That way, I can get more comfortable with drawing the face and not overthink about it. And eventually it'll result in me drawing faster sketches, faster outlines, and then I can just help speed up panels and chapters, and that way, instead of trying to force myself to get faster, I'm just drawing at a faster pace because I have more, like, a better understanding, I have better confidence, I'm not overthinking. So I was just practicing with, like, the front of the face, doing the sketch, not over exaggerating on the circle and trying to make every little thing perfect, but just allow myself to make mistakes, because whenever you spend, or whenever I spend time on a certain part, whether it's like the circle, or I'm trying to get perfect to where it's like I know where the length of the eyes are at, or the height of the eyes are at, then that's pretty much me telling myself I'm not too sure on what's supposed to happen here, or I mean, that's pretty much it. That's whenever I just spend a lot of time on a certain part of the body, that just means I don't fully understand what I'm supposed to do. So I think just having those, pretty much giving myself it's kind of just like giving myself permission to just draw crappy lines. They don't have to be perfect. Just see if I can give like the sketch of it to where, or like the gesture of it to where I know what's happening, and then once I get a good idea, then I can clean it up a bit. Holy crap. Oh my goodness. So that'll probably be like the one thing I focus on. I'm kind of tempted to work on other parts of the manga, but not the manga, but other parts of the face, like looking up, looking down. But I need to have like a good foundation of the basics. So once I can do it to where I don't have to overthink, then I can just expand. And that's like a bad habit I used to have, to where I would kind of understand something and then I move on to something more advanced, and that would be really dumb, because it's kind of like having a decent understanding of addition and subtraction, and then you move on to multiplication and division. And whenever you do that, because you don't have a full understanding of the previous knowledge that you're supposed to have, you struggle with the current. So now you're struggling with the current, and now you have to go back to the previous, and all you're doing is wasting your time. You're getting really frustrated, you're not progressing, and then eventually you're like, you know what, I quit. Or you just give up for days, weeks, months, years. So it's pretty fun. A couple weeks ago, I was just stressing myself on trying to finish chapter 1. And I mean, I know too, like there's some god dang, there's some poses with or just some panels where they're gonna need some. I'm trying to be like more positive with like myself. I don't want to say they suck, but you can see like there's some stuff that I still need to work on. So maybe they're too stiff, maybe the face is a little bit off. I understand that, and I mean, I'm not gonna beat myself about it, because at the time I was just doing the best I could. And now that it's out there, now I really know what I need to work on, and I'm just gonna take it one step at a time. And before I move on, I want to know that I have a good understanding. I'll probably also do a couple sketches with like the body. Cause I'm still trying to get the hang of like drawing boxes and doing dynamic poses. Get a good feeling of what's happening with the gesture. Cause I want to do to where there's like a lot of fight scenes. So that's all I have.